Have you ever wondered why suddenly everyone online can't stop talking about the amazing digital circus? From TikTok edits to YouTube breakdowns to entire Reddit communities blowing up overnight, this strange, colorful, and slightly disturbing animated series has taken the internet by storm. At first glance, it looks silly, a bunch of weird cartoon characters trapped inside a circus with bright colors and over-the-top comedy. But the more you watch, the more you realize something isn't right. Behind the jokes and goofy designs, there's a darker, unsettling truth that fans can't stop digging into. And that mix of funny but terrifying is exactly why people are obsessed. Created by Glitch Productions, the same studio behind hits like Murder Drones and Meta Runner, the Amazing Digital Circus is unlike anything we've seen before. It introduces us to Pomni, a new arrival to this bizarre digital world, who quickly realizes she's stuck with no way out. Imagine logging into a game thinking it's just entertainment and then never being able to escape. That's the nightmare these characters live in. But here's the thing, this isn't just another cartoon. It's a mirror of our own struggles, feeling trapped, lost, or disconnected in a world that doesn't make sense. That's why the series hits so hard. Viewers don't just laugh at the circus, they see a piece of themselves inside it. So today, we're diving deep into why the Amazing Digital Circus has become a global obsession. We'll explore the story, the characters, the hidden dark themes, the wild fan theories, and why this bizarre little show might just be the next big animated phenomenon. Stay tuned, because once you enter the circus, there's no turning back. At its core, the series takes place inside a strange, glitchy digital realm designed to look like a circus, but not the kind you'd want to visit on a fun weekend. This isn't filled with cotton candy and rides. Instead, it's a chaotic and unsettling playground where the rules of reality are broken and nothing feels safe. The main character, Pomni, finds herself suddenly trapped in this circus with no explanation of how she got there or how she can leave. Right from the first episode, viewers feel her panic and confusion. She's dropped into this world, forced to interact with a cast of strange characters, each as bizarre and unnerving as the circus itself. And here's the catch. No one seems to know how to escape. Once you're inside the digital circus, you're in it forever. This concept alone is powerful. It takes something that should feel fun and joyful, like a circus, and twists it into a prison of endless chaos. It's colorful, it's funny, but deep down it feels claustrophobic, like a nightmare you can't wake up from. That contrast between playful visuals and horrifying themes is what makes the setting so unique. Fans online have pointed out how the digital circus feels like a metaphor for modern life. Many of us feel trapped in digital spaces, whether it's social media, video games, or virtual escapes. We laugh, we post memes, we put on performances for others, but sometimes deep inside we feel stuck. The circus exaggerates this feeling into something extreme and terrifying, and that's why it resonates so much. In the end, the world of the Amazing Digital Circus isn't just a backdrop, it's a character itself, alive, unpredictable, and dangerous. Every corner hides something new. Every glitch could be a threat, and every laugh carries a hint of dread. It's this unsettling mix of comedy and horror that immediately pulls viewers in and makes them say, okay, I need to see more. One of the biggest reasons why the Amazing Digital Circus exploded in popularity is its unforgettable cast of characters. Each one is designed to look goofy and colorful on the outside, but if you pay attention, there's always a deeper, darker layer underneath. That balance of comedy and existential dread is what keeps fans talking and keeps the memes flowing non-stop. Let's start with the heart of the story, Pomni. She's the newest arrival to the circus, and from the very first moment, she becomes our window into this bizarre world. Unlike the other characters who seem a little used to the chaos, Pomni is panicked, anxious, and constantly on edge. And honestly, that's exactly how most of us would react if we woke up in a place like this. Fans immediately connect with her because she embodies pure human fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of being trapped, and fear of losing her sense of reality. Every breakdown she has feels real, almost too real, which is why she's become one of the most relatable characters in modern animation. Next, we have Jax, the smug, sarcastic rabbit who acts like nothing ever bothers him. Jax is that character who constantly cracks jokes, teases others, and never takes anything seriously, but that's exactly what makes him so mysterious. Is he really carefree, or is his humor just a mask to hide his own fear? Fans have compared him to the kind of person who laughs through trauma, and that complexity makes him fascinating to watch. Plus, let's be honest, his one-liners are meme gold. Then there's Ragatha, the doll-like character, who tries to keep everyone together. She's cheerful and nurturing, but even she can't hide the cracks that show through her optimism. Many fans see her as the glue holding the circus group from completely falling apart. But the question is, how long can someone keep smiling in a world where nothing makes sense? Ragatha's character adds that bittersweet emotional tone, reminding us that even kindness can't erase the horror of being trapped. Kinger is another standout. On the surface, he's just a paranoid, jittery chess piece character who seems half out of his mind. But that paranoia, is it just madness? Or does he know something the others don't? Fans love to theorize about Kinger because he feels like the kind of person who's seen too much. His nervous energy adds suspense and makes us wonder if he's been in the circus longer than anyone else. We also can't forget Zubul, a strange mix of different shapes and colors like a walking glitch. Zubul often acts detached and cynical, as if they've already given up on trying to escape. Some fans interpret Zubul as a symbol of losing your identity. When you're stuck too long in a broken system, you stop fighting back and just accept the chaos. That hopelessness resonates with a lot of viewers, especially younger audiences who feel lost in today's fast-paced, unpredictable world. Together, these characters create a bizarre family dynamic. They fight, they joke, they break down, but they also rely on each other because in the end, they're all they've got. That's what makes the cast so compelling. They're not just random cartoons thrown together, they represent different ways people cope with fear, trauma, and hopelessness. Some laugh it off, some break down, some try to stay positive, and some just accept defeat. And here's the genius part: while the circus world is wild and entertaining, it's these characters that keep viewers coming back. People see themselves in Pomni's anxiety, in Jax's humor, in Ragatha's kindness, in Kinger's paranoia, and in Zubul's detachment. It's this relatability wrapped in colorful, absurd designs that makes the series so addicting. At the end of the day, fans aren't just watching a circus show. They're watching pieces of themselves, exaggerated and trapped inside a nightmare they can't escape. And that emotional connection is exactly why the Amazing Digital Circus has become more than just a cartoon. It's become a cultural phenomenon. At first glance, the Amazing Digital Circus looks like a silly comedy show. The colors are bright, the characters are goofy, and the setting is ridiculous. But underneath the circus tent, something much darker is happening, and that's exactly why people are hooked. The show balances humor with unsettling psychological themes, creating a unique viewing experience that feels funny one second and deeply disturbing the next. One of the biggest hidden themes is existential dread. Pomni's constant breakdowns aren't just for laughs. They represent something much more real. She's terrified of being trapped forever, of losing her sense of self, and of forgetting who she really is. For viewers, this hits close to home. How often do we feel like we're stuck in situations we can't control, wondering if we'll ever escape? Whether it's school, work, or even just the routine of everyday life. Pomni's fear mirrors our own. Then there's the theme of identity loss. Inside the circus, characters no longer look like humans. They've been transformed into bizarre avatars that don't even resemble their real-world selves. This raises a chilling question. After enough time, do you even remember who you were before? Fans online have pointed out that this is a metaphor for how people lose themselves in the digital world. Think about it. Hours on social media, hiding behind avatars, usernames, and filters. Eventually, the line between your online identity and your real self begins to blur. The circus exaggerates this into a nightmare scenario where you literally can't return to who you once were. Another powerful theme is mental health and coping mechanisms. Each character represents a different way people deal with trauma. Pomni panics and breaks down. Jax hides behind jokes and sarcasm. Ragatha covers everything with kindness and optimism. Kinger spirals into paranoia. Zubul shuts down emotionally and detaches. None of these are solutions, they're just survival tactics. The show highlights how people use humor, distraction, or even denial to deal with pain. That's why so many fans see themselves in these characters. They're exaggerated, but they feel real. The series also touches on loneliness and isolation. Imagine being stuck in a place where the same people surround you every day, but nobody can truly understand what you're going through. That's the reality of the digital circus. The characters have each other, but at the same time, they're all trapped in their own suffering. This reflects a common modern struggle, being surrounded by people online, yet still feeling completely alone. And perhaps the darkest theme of all is the idea of no escape. In most shows, there's always hope, a way out, a solution, a hero's journey. But in the Amazing Digital Circus, there's no clear exit. That hopelessness is terrifying. It makes the comedy feel hollow, almost like the characters are laughing to distract themselves from the truth. It's funny, but it's also heartbreaking. The genius of the show is that it never preaches these themes directly. It doesn't stop and say, this is about depression, or this is about identity. Instead, it lets the audience feel it naturally. The contrast between bright visuals and dark undertones forces viewers to think and reflect. That's why fan discussions online aren't just about the funny moments, they're about the deeper meaning behind the circus. At the end of the day, The Amazing Digital Circus is more than just an animated comedy, it's a psychological mirror of our own lives. Our fears, our coping mechanisms, our loneliness, and our desperate need to escape. And that's why people can't stop watching. It's not just entertaining, it's disturbingly relatable. If there's one thing that guarantees an animated series will blow up online, it's mystery. And Amazing Digital Circus has plenty of it. The show doesn't just entertain, it leaves fans with dozens of unanswered questions. And that's where the obsession really begins. Theories are everywhere. Reddit threads, YouTube breakdowns, TikTok edits. Everyone is trying to figure out what's really going on inside this strange digital world. Let's start with the most popular theory. Are the characters real humans trapped in the circus? Pomni's reaction when she first enters feels too real, too human. She doesn't behave like a cartoon character, she behaves like a real person in shock. Fans believe that every character we see was once a human who got trapped inside the digital circus program. Over time, their human identities were erased, leaving only these cartoonish avatars. This would explain why so many of them seem unstable. Imagine losing your real body, your real world, and being forced to live forever as a digital puppet. It's terrifying, and it makes sense why they're all slowly breaking down. Another huge theory is about what happens when someone exits the circus. In the pilot, we see the concept of abstracted characters. When someone loses control, their mind breaks and they transform into horrifying glitch monsters. But what if that isn't just random? Some fans believe abstraction is the digital circus's way of erasing those who can't cope. Instead of escaping, the characters are consumed, leaving only broken code behind. Others believe abstraction is actually the key to freedom, that maybe breaking is the only way out, but it comes at the cost of losing your identity. This theory adds a whole new layer of fear, because it means every breakdown Pomni has brings her one step closer to losing herself forever. Then there's the mystery of Kane, the ringleader of the circus. He acts cheerful, over the top, and completely in control of the environment. But who is he really? Some fans argue that Kane is just another prisoner who went insane and took over the system. Others suggest he might be an AI created to keep the circus running, designed to entertain the characters forever. A darker theory says Kane is fully aware of their suffering but doesn't care. He treats their pain as part of the show, laughing while they slowly lose their minds. His exaggerated personality makes him funny, but when you think about it, it's also deeply unsettling. Of course, no fan theory discussion is complete without the creator theory. Who built the digital circus in the first place? Some believe it was meant to be a game or VR experiment gone wrong. Others think it's a metaphorical purgatory, where lost souls are trapped until they accept their fate. There are even wild theories that the circus is a government simulation, or that the characters are plugged into a machine Matrix style. None of this is confirmed, and that's exactly why people are obsessed. The lack of answers fuels speculation, and speculation fuels hype. Outside of theories, let's not forget the insane online obsession. Within days of release, The Amazing Digital Circus was trending across multiple platforms. TikTok was flooded with edits of Pomni's meltdowns, Jax's sarcastic lines, and Ragatha's unsettling positivity. Memes started popping up everywhere, comparing Pomni to anyone having an existential crisis. Fan art exploded, with people redesigning the characters or even creating new ones. Entire Discord servers and Reddit communities dedicated themselves to analyzing every tiny detail of the pilot. This online culture isn't just fun, it's part of why the series has become a phenomenon. Theories give fans a reason to rewatch episodes, pause at every frame, and argue with each other about hidden meanings. The mystery becomes just as important as the show itself. Even people who haven't watched The Amazing Digital Circus are exposed to it through memes and edits, making them curious enough to check it out. That cycle is what turned a short pilot episode into a viral movement. What's fascinating is how fans connect these theories back to real life. For example, the idea of being trapped in the circus feels like a metaphor for being trapped in technology. The fear of losing your identity mirrors the fear of losing yourself online. The obsession with Kane reflects distrust of authority and AI. It's not just fun speculation, it's people projecting their own anxieties onto the show, which makes the theories feel personal. At the end of the day, the Amazing Digital Circus thrives on mystery. The unanswered questions keep fans coming back, keep communities buzzing, and keep the internet filled with endless discussions. Every theory, whether crazy or logical, adds fuel to the fire, and as long as the creators keep the secrets locked away, the obsession will only grow stronger. Beyond its story and characters, what truly sets the Amazing Digital Circus apart is its visual style. From the very first frame, it doesn't look like your average animated series. The world is bright, colorful, and almost playful, but with a glitchy, unsettling twist that makes you feel like something is off. It's like a dream that's fun at first glance, but quickly turns into a nightmare. The 3D animation is bold and experimental. Characters have exaggerated designs, some smooth, some jagged, some downright bizarre, which instantly makes them memorable. The circus itself is full of impossible shapes, shifting rooms, and strange textures that give the impression that reality itself is broken. This visual chaos is intentional, and it perfectly reflects the characters' psychological chaos. Then there's the sound and music. Every joke, every meltdown, every glitch is enhanced by sound design that's both comedic and creepy. The background score jumps from silly carnival tunes to unsettling static, creating that constant push and pull between humor and horror. It's this balance that keeps viewers on edge, never quite sure whether to laugh or feel disturbed. But what excites fans most is the future potential. If just one pilot episode could spark this much hype, imagine what a full season could do. There are endless directions the creators can take, exploring the backstories of each character, revealing the truth about the circus, or even expanding the world beyond the tent. Fans are desperate for answers, but they also crave more of the mystery, and that balance will keep the series alive for years to come. In many ways, the Amazing Digital Circus is more than just a web show. It's a cultural moment and reflects our fears of technology, identity, and isolation, while packaging it all in a bizarrely entertaining way. That's why people are obsessed, because it's not just a circus on screen, it's a mirror of the world we live in. So the question isn't just why is everyone obsessed? The real question is, how long will you last once you step into the circus yourself?